Are you really listening to this podcast all by yourself? Share it with the homies. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure everyone listens to the Climate Podcast together. Let's get right into the episode.
Oh, that was a weak clap, but hopefully it's getting better. Hello, welcome everyone to the Climate Podcast. I am your host, Ibrahim Zahdan, joined by my other host, Jameen Abed.
Woo.
Today, we have the undefeated squad from the Al Zahdan Hoop Sesh, light blue team. We're joined by Dean, Nico, Lawrence, and Maurice. How you guys doing today?
Baller shot callers.
Oh, good.
Doing good, man.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
So before we get into it, I just want to introduce the four of you guys. So we're going to start off with Dean. This man is the captain, Mr. I Can't Miss, Mr. Hollywood, as referred to as Maurice. We got Nico, the man in the middle. We got Lawrence, lights out shooter. Great performance in the championship game, which we'll talk about later. And we got Maurice, who's got that ball on a string. That man cannot, dribbles like crazy, bro. I don't know how else to explain it.
Disrespectful with it.
Yeah.
So calm.
Real.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys individually, one by one. You guys will answer craziest smack talk story, and also where the love of the game came from and who you kind of modeled your game after.
Yeah. So first we'll just start off with the smack talk story, and then we can get to the love of the game after that one.
Sure. So we'll start with you, Nico.
Ooh, I was thinking of them right now. I have a decent amount. I mean, I wouldn't really say it's a smack talk. I would say it's more of like almost like a fight on the court. For the first time, and I'm a pretty big dude myself, but I got thrown to the ground by this dude. We were playing Creep Moni. It was back in high school. And big dude, like bigger than me. And in high school, I was around 225, like 6'5". So that's pretty big for a high schooler. But this dude is probably about my height, like 260, just a brick. And he's one of those players. He played like a football player. He was over aggressive and didn't have much skill or like finesse, but he was just like beating the shit out of you everywhere. So we're posting up and like we lock arms or something. So I make the mistake of like snapping his arm forward, right? Trying to like get him off of me. This dude stops playing, looks at me right in the eye and shoves me, right? And like I said, I'm a big dude myself. I'm 225, 6'5" at the time. He shoves me. I go back like when Ben Wallace pushed around our test. I go flying backwards. And I'm like, oh, shit. So like right away, I kind of knew like I kind of fucked up, like I shouldn't have done this. So, I mean, I'm not going to back down. So I stand back up and his teammates come and break him up to break it up. And like the swarm of people that were trying to break us up pushed me over and I'm on the ground. So now I'm on my back and I'm looking up and I see him like walking towards me, like stomping towards me, like it was a movie. And I'm like, I've never been in this position in my life, like I'm usually the one that's like doing the aggressing, not being the aggressed. So this dude's stomping over at me. His coach was about, I would say 60 to 70 years old, older man. He comes to grab him. No joke. He grabs his coach by like the shoulders, by the collar, and throws the coach out of the way. I'm like, so I'm on the ground scared for my life. I'm looking up like, oh, is this how it's going to end? And it took both my team and his team to get in the middle and hold this dude back. And he was throwing people off of him like he was like a monster in a movie. And what are you doing? This dude, he's throwing all these people off of him. And thankfully, Creep Moni at the time had security guards. Security guards come, takes like two dudes to grab this guy. And this is a petty move by me. Once I saw that it was broken up and like I was pretty safe, he obviously got the tee and I stand up and I was clapping and stuff like, yeah. And I'm clapping
yes, sir.
And I see he's so angry, he's starting to like tear up and he's like trying to get everybody off of him. And he has got like 10 guys that I'm holding him back. And it was a close game when this happened. I think we were maybe up 1 and there's only a couple seconds left, but it was their ball. So the refs tee him up, throw him out of the game. I'm mocking him right in his face. Like once I see he's got like 20 dudes around him, like holding him back, I'm clapping right in his face and like smiling.
So petty.
Yeah, it's so petty. Yeah, it was bad. And technical, I go to the line, hit 2 free throws, and we get the ball because that's the IHSA rules. Yeah. And basically that won us the game.
Oh my God.
So that's my story. That's the only time that I've ever literally felt like scared on a basketball court because this dude was a monster. And then the only downside of it was the next day in class, my girlfriend at the time, she was in class with my basketball coach, who was a science teacher. And right away, the first thing in the morning, he goes, "Did you hear your boyfriend almost got his ass beat yesterday?" So that was the one story that I can recall, and it's kind of funny to look back at.
My guy picked a fight with a defensive lineman.
For real.
If I can compare him to somebody, it was like Ndamukong Suh. Swear to God.
Oh my God.
He said, "Man, was this in high school or college?"
This was high school.
Oh,
this was Creep Moni.
That's scary. That's scary for real.
Yeah. All right, how about you, Dean?
Man, for a trash talk story, I wouldn't even like really say it was a specific person. I've had a lot of tournaments, and I'd probably say one around like Romeoville. We played that tournament probably 2 years, 3 years straight. And there was always this one team that we would always go back and forth with. Because I mean, we just didn't like each other, I guess. Every time we played, it was really competitive. We're going back and forth. But I know, man, they were posting stuff on Instagram because we played every Sunday. It was like every Sunday. So they post stuff on Instagram, like get all our boys, do all this stuff, come and show up and play. And I mean, when we started playing, man, we were just our whole team. I think you guys seen Amir, the guy on the purple team too. He's really loud. He likes to get in the ref's face, all this. So I mean, just all the players, man, all the players, they were going at us. There was a lot of technicals thrown around, just a lot of trash talking in general. But I mean, just like, I guess as a team in general, I wouldn't say specific person. They had some good hoopers, but nothing crazy like with Nico getting in a fight or anything. That's kind of
that's insane.
That's scary, man. Honestly, I wouldn't say anybody's really like intimidated our squad or like really done something like crazy. But I mean, just trash talk in general is part of the game. So I would say, man, there's a lot of times you get trash talk, but I mean, it's the way you react, I guess, the way you gotta to go about it, you know.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy though.
Fair enough. How about you, Lawrence?
People really don't talk trash to me.
Okay.
They know the lesson.
For real.
You gonna fire their ass up.
Yeah.
It was one time this person, one of my former teammates at Moraine, he didn't know me at the time. He came to like an open gym and he thought he could shoot as well as me. So like he was talking crazy, but like he said to me, he like looked at me, he was like, "I shoot better than you." And I was like, I didn't say nothing back. I just looked at him. And I just said, I was like, okay. And so then I go like hit like 5 threes in a row. And so
oh my God.
He like, okay. And I just said, yeah, you ain't at my level, but it's all good. And then I didn't get nothing from him since. You know, like he don't like I play with him nowadays, and you know, he don't talk nobody talks crazy to me.
Yeah.
Who I play basketball with. So like
I know who you're talking about too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think trash talk, that's the thing, man. If you trash talk I feel like all of us on the squad, if you trash talk any of us, it makes us play better. Like we're not gonna get intimidated, we play better if anything.
Yeah.
Like that makes me want to play a lot more, man.
Part of the game,
I love the trash talk. That's the thing. I love the trash talk. I can't even lie. I do it a lot too. I'm not gonna cap. I do it right back.
Fair enough. How about you, Maurice?
Where do I fucking start?
Reese, I know about Reese and Moraine, man. He got like 10 stories.
Oh shit.
Oh,
let me see. What's the loudest one? Oh, you know what? All right, so we the year that we all played together in Moraine Valley, the season just started, and we played Malcolm X, I think. And at this time they had like a guard. He was pretty decent, but like, you know, I don't know what made him start talking crazy. So
neither.
LP know what I'm talking about. So
I know exactly.
So before the half is over, he said something, and you know, we going back and forth. So then by the time halftime was over, we was like we had to like leave the gym through the same door. So he's the first one to run out the door. So I see him and I run right behind him. So like me and him, so then we started going back and forth again. The whole time I'm already knowing like he didn't really want to do nothing, you know. I was just being a bully. So I followed him.
Hey, Quan added to that too. Quan added to that one too.
Yeah, Quan
he instigated.
Did. So I followed him, and you know we just joined and shit. So then, you know, basically nothing happened. We all went back to our locker rooms, but when he came back out, he didn't say shit else. and we
That's
won that
insane.
game. And I think LP had like 20, 25 that game.
Really? Man was pulling up from half court. Homie was pulling up from half court.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you said Maurice, you ended up winning that game, right?
Yeah.
Nico, did you end up winning that game where you got into that whole Mouse in the Palace incident?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the game winner.
Cool. So it was definitely worth it, right? Getting into all that shit then.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Anything for a dub, man. A dub is a dub.
Thanks for that.
Hey man,
you gotta do what it
Reese
takes.
has got like 10 of them, man. I seen him smack a dude on the court. He's not playing.
Yeah, bro. Me and dude got into like a little smack, or I didn't even know I hit him. I saw
Dude
the
smacked him across the face.
I smacked dude and he hit me back, and then we was finna get into it. But you know how motherfuckers is.
Like, I love that. I love that season, man. That was
A
great.
smack, bro.
Talking about smack talk.
You could literally have a
smacked
whole
the dude.
segment just on this, bro.
Hey,
Literal,
LP.
bro. We didn't mean literal smack talk, bro.
Literally smacked the dude. Oh man. That's cold.
Okay, so the next thing we wanted to ask you guys is, where did your love of the game come from? Like, what made you start liking basketball? What really, got you into it? I guess we'll just go in the same order as last time.
For me, it was pretty easy. My dad played high school ball and then college ball at St. Francis and North Central. My dad's a big dude himself. He's like 6'4", 6'5". My mom's about 5'9", 5'10". So I was born to be like a big dude. And I mean, honestly, ever since I came out the womb, my parents just forced me to play basketball. I know sometimes like they say that's not the right way to do it, but I like loved it from the start. And going through middle school, high school, my dad and I, when I wouldn't have school on weekends, we would go to the Sportsplex gym out here in Orland every morning, about 8, 9 in the morning, and he would just feed me like post looks for drop steps, up and unders, baby hooks, and just like mid-range stuff like that. And I was like molded to be like what would be an undersized big man in terms of college level. But I've always been the biggest kid in my grade, so I wanted to be good at what position I played. So looking back on it, if I were to do it differently, I'd look to be like a guard and kind of have a more all-around, well-rounded game. But I was always the biggest one in my class. I think I was like 6'3", 225 in 8th grade.
Wow.
So I've always been a big dude. So my dad's like, fuck that, you're going on the post up and like learn these drop steps. So yeah, my dad put it on me. I'm glad he did, because I couldn't see myself playing any other sport. A lot of people recommended football, like a tight end or something, but my excuse would always be I don't want to get hurt for basketball. So
Fair enough.
Shout out to Pops, man. That's dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Honestly, man, so none of my family members really played basketball. My dad, my mom, neither of my brothers are really athletes too. I would say like Kobe's my go. Kobe's the reason like I started playing basketball, the reason I kind of fell in love with the game. I seen the way he approached it, the way like his mentality was, and that's, dude, I'm motivated as it is. So I feel like that's what made me, I was playing every day since like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, whether I was at Sportsplex, Lifetime, outside my house, dribbling, doing anything. So, I mean, I fell in love with the game watching Kobe. And then after watching Derrick Rose on Chicago, Steph Curry, stuff like that, man, that made me fall in love with it, like to a whole nother level. And then I started building my confidence, started going up in 7th, 8th grade, played throughout high school. So, I mean, that's kind of where I kind of like took another lead for me. And I was like, I had a different type of motivation and confidence to play. And I just, those two players, Kobe and Steph, man, that's the most confidence and that you can kind of get from them, honestly. So that's where I draw it from 100%.
Fair enough.
For me, it was from my cousins. So when I was like maybe 7, 8, and we used to go over to my grandma's house and go to my auntie's house, my cousins would play in the backyard, and I would never be able to play with them because I was like small and they like 6'3", 5'10", and I was, little kid, 3 foot tall. So I couldn't play with them. So I always like, literally like, I just wanted to play with them. So like, I would be like out there watching them play. And then when they stepped off and got tired and was done, I'd just go in there and I'd start shooting. And, the goal was so high, I couldn't get the ball up there some of the time. So they had to lower it for me. And so I just practiced on that. And so like, watching them play and being so competitive with each other, it made me just want to get better at it because I wanted to be able, like, one day to be better than them. So I just worked on my game. And then by the time I got to, like, 5th grade, I was able to shoot, at the 9-foot rim, like, from 3. So Like, it was just natural. Like, I didn't go to no trainer or nothing. Like, it was just me just in the backyard shooting. But when I played organized was like in 5th grade. And that's when I realized I was actually like kind of good at basketball because the parents would be like, well, one, I hit 8 threes in one game. So
hell no, bro. Talk your shit. That's when you realize you had a built-in sniper, bro. Quit.
Right.
That's what I told you. He should have got the trophy. He should have got the trophy.
So I was like, okay, I'm kind of good at this. And then as I kept playing, I saw Steph play when he beat Denver. And that's when I realized like I could take my whole game to another level because this dude is like 6'3", but he really like 6 foot and he weighed, 160 pounds.
Yes, sir.
I can play at a high level one of these days. So just my cousins and then, seeing Steph Curry was with me, fall in love with the game. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is you guys said Kobe, Steph Curry, D Rose. The guy that I looked up to when I was playing that game was fucking Shaq in LA. I was Shaq's biggest fan because I'm like, look, I'm the biggest on my team, and in my school, he's the biggest on the floor. Like that's who I want to be like.
Shaq's a bully, man. That's just a
big
bully.
Aristotle, dude.
Yeah, it's the GOAT.
What about you, Maurice? Where did your love of the game come from?
With me, I love all sports coming up. I was just an athlete, but I was more drawn to basketball just because, like, everybody in front of me, like my dad played basketball, my uncle played basketball. So it was just like, it just ran through my blood. And then I started to love the game more, the more acknowledgement I got from it. Because people, like, just growing up, where I grew up, we just used to play, we used to have rims, like, just on the street. Or, like, we would put up a crate in the alley or somewhere and go shoot. And just people would be like, like, you're real good, man. You're real good. And so that's where I learned to love the game, even though I never thought I was as good as people made me seem. Yeah. But everybody just was like, you good at this shit. Take this shit serious. And so I just ran with it.
Fair enough. One thing I noticed you guys all mention was either, Kobe, Steph Curry, maybe Derrick Rose, or even Shaq. Not a single one of you guys said LeBron. And I think that's really interesting. I would argue that Steph Curry is probably the most influential NBA player since Kobe Bryant.
For sure.
Yeah,
like, everyone talks about, LeBron being the GOAT, this and that. I've never heard a single person say, yo, I want to play like LeBron. Like, nobody says that. Everyone says I want to shoot like Steph. I'm trying to play like Kobe. No one says I'm trying to play like LeBron. And
very true.
I guess my question to you guys is, what is it about LeBron's play style that, like, nobody ever said, like, what is the reason for his play style? What is it about his play style that makes people say, or makes people not say that they want to play like him?
So I think that people can relate to Steph so much because he's an average sized person. I mean, in terms of a basketball player, he's small. So, you can walk into like a high school and find a senior that's the same exact size as Stephen Curry. You're not going to find a guy who's 6'8", 6'9", 270 can outrun anybody on the floor and strong as an ox. So I think the relatability that you can have to someone like Steph or even like a Steve Nash or Chris Paul, like guys that are not freaks of nature in terms of athletes, I think it's super easy to relate to that. And the dude's got a sniper, so why wouldn't you want to play like him?
Yeah.
I just feel like, honestly, with Steph, like I feel like I related similar to what Lawrence was saying. It's just the confidence level. Like if I was in 7th, 8th grade working out, whatever it is, and then you go to a gym, you see a bunch of older people, a bunch of bigger people that can kind of weigh you down. But I seen this dude in the NBA at the highest level. He's about 6'2", 6'3". He's not a big guy, and this dude has the most confidence. Once he steps past half court, it's like, bro, you got to guard me, otherwise I'm gonna light your team up. And it's like that confidence level is like similar with Kobe's with the Mamba mentality, and Steph is just on another level with his confidence as well. So it's definitely relatable to just his size in general.
Okay.
Yeah, just definitely relatability because LeBron was the person I watched when I was young, and I started watching basketball. Of course, when you're a little kid, you think you're gonna grow to 6'8", 6'9", but you don't, no genetics, so it don't work like that. So, eventually when I started playing for real, I was like, well, I can't play like LeBron because I'm not gonna be 6'9" by the time I'm 19 years old. So then when I seen Steph and I just seen how he just dominated the game and controlled the floor and the attention he brought, I was like, and then, I could shoot myself. So I was like, well, if I work hard enough, I'll be able to do that one of these days. So that's just relatable.
I think it's definitely relatability with Steph Curry because he is like average size, like you feel me? And then, people just not built like LeBron. Like, there's not many people that's built like LeBron. And then another thing, LeBron is not my GOAT. Michael Jordan is. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know. Hey, LeBron got to pass Kobe before he gets to Jordan. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. That one up for debate.
Hey, Jameer, show them your poster. Show them your poster, Jameer.
Bro, we got Michael Jordan. I don't know if you guys see that well. Michael Jordan. And
Yes,
Michael
I like
Jordan.
that. I had the same one.
Hey,
I
look at
had the
this.
same one in
Let me see
the
if I can
picture from
show.
upstairs.
That's Jay-Z. Hold up. Right there.
Quick flex.
I like
That's
it.
fire.
I like it.
That's fire.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. You know, I'm gonna be completely honest. One of the biggest reasons I say people don't want to play like LeBron is because, in my opinion, he does not have a likable play style. Like, for me, I do not like how he started a culture of complaining, and there's nothing flashy about the way he plays. Literally nothing. Like, he's just brute force, forcing it in and scoring. With, like, when you compare him to, like, a straight up scorer like KD's always fancy with the way he pulls up, shimmy, whatever he got. LeBron is literally one crossover, shoulder down, he's in the paint and he's scoring on you every single time. And it's just like, when you have a guy who brute forces his way in every single time, I think people just don't see that as like a flashy thing. And it just gets kind of annoying because people got used to Michael Jordan's flashiness, you know, him and his like fadeaway and his dunks and everything, you know. I don't know. That's just
I think what sets apart LeBron from like the rest of the guys, because we all know Kobe, MJ, they got the the post fades. Kareem has a sky hook. Everyone has their go-to move, right? Everyone has that signature thing. LeBron really doesn't have that go-to move. What sets him apart is
his mind. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say.
He has great
his
IQ. You can't take that away from him.
So what you're saying is completely right, Jimmy. Like, he doesn't really have that go-to move that nobody could stop, but to kind of like dumb it down, his go-to move is his mind. Like, he outsmarts everybody.
Yeah.
So
there's like, I have a lot of friends that really like watch basketball for like the highlights, dunks, the flashy stuff, and they'll say something similar in terms of like, oh, I don't want to watch this game, it's boring, or they'll pick a player that I guess isn't appealing to the eye. But me as a basketball player playing for, at this point, 20 plus years, I look at the game, it sounds weird, but I look at the game a little differently. Like, I don't look at the highlights, the top 10 stuff. I see LeBron have a guy on his hip, right? And he's drawing the help defense to come all the way across the court. And LeBron doesn't even make eye contact with the guy in the far corner, but he sends a laser one-hand bullet straight to the corner for the three. Stuff like that you can't teach, and that doesn't mean not look the best. Like, as a basketball player, you see those things and you pick those things up, and he's only getting better with age. I think the older he gets, the smarter he's getting too. So I enjoy watching him, but in terms of, you're right, in terms of like highlight plays, there's not that many unless he dunks on somebody.
Yeah.
I agree with that aspect. I do. I mean, LeBron is definitely like, I think you can't take anything away from LeBron. That guy has been in the finals year after year. He's literally built 260, 6'9". And I mean, you can't take anything away from him, because I think his passing, his IQ, like everything all around is built solid. It's built. I don't think he excels in anything specifically. Exactly. Like Curry excels in his playmaking and his dribbling and his shooting, and doesn't have athleticism like that. So there's different parts of his games that are down. But I mean, LeBron's good in almost everything. So you can't take anything with him from that as well. He's very well rounded, of course.
That's true.
I agree.
So the next thing I wanted to ask, in terms of another on the topic of LeBron, is, and this is what we were talking about last episode too, is he to blame for modern day super teams?
No.
No.
Who do you guys, I guess the question now is there anyone to blame? And if so, who?
The Lakers and the Celtics.
Lakers.
People.
That's a hard question.
Wow, because people don't realize, like, the Lakers had at least 10 or 11 Hall of Famers on their team, like, each year, and so did the Celtics. They were like the two teams that went back and forth. So it's like, I think people don't realize LeBron, just like, again, like, his mind, he just outsmarted everyone again. Like, he took it back. And he didn't go that far as 10 Hall of Famers because that's kind of impossible with the money. But like he was like, well, the Lakers and the Celtics won championships because they had every good person. So why wouldn't I just go grab 2 or 3 great people and put them on my team, and we're just gonna go win championships? So it's just like I blame them because if they didn't do it, then we can blame LeBron. But the Lakers and Celtics did it for years, and that's
I agree with that.
Yeah, the Celtics did it right before. Like Kevin Garnett went
did.
to the Celtics, they had their big 4 and won the championship. So I don't think LeBron is to blame.
I like the fact that you said the big 4 because Rondo definitely doesn't get his praise like he should.
No, he don't. And Rondo was my favorite point
Rondo
guard
was
during
cold,
that
man.
time. Like over D
Rondo
Rose, Rondo was my
he was
dog.
sick.
Man,
Yep,
I was
Rondo
gonna
was
throw
cold.
this in. I was gonna throw this in. We were talking about LeBron and his mind and how he excels at that. Rondo was in that list of guys that kind of outsmarts you. Him,
course.
CP3, guys like that.
yes.
That's why when a lot of people shit on CP3, I'm like, you guys don't understand what he's been doing to teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been coming on shitty teams and excelling, bro.
He's
That's
balling,
like-
man.
To go back to like my point of like looking at LeBron as a basketball player, that's how I look at Chris Paul. This dude's IQ and everything that he does is so damn perfect on the floor, but it's not that flashy. He's not that big. He's not that athletic. But when you see how he draws defenses and his mid-range game, he's barely missing that ever. Like floaters, everything. The dude is like a mastermind. He's playing chess while the defense is playing checkers.
Agreed.
So
It also hurts that he's an asshole too. That's why a lot of people don't like Chris Paul is an asshole. I mean,
yeah,
we can all
petty
agree.
as hell, bro.
He's an asshole, man.
He's petty.
I wouldn't say like I would definitely agree with like the Boston's kind of starting it up and stuff, but I mean I feel like LeBron definitely didn't take it and make it what it was. I feel like LeBron when he went to the Miami Heat, that's what kind of like made other teams also realize like, yo, if LeBron, he's on top of the league right now, if LeBron did this with the other 3 in Miami, he made it a whole big thing. It was LeBron's decision. It was on ESPN. It was like, he made it a whole broadcast, everything like that. So I feel like the other players watching were like, damn, like if LeBron's about to get his squad, why can't I get my squad too?
Yeah.
You know, Boston was kind of drafted together. They had a great team. They were adding pieces left and right. So I think LeBron saw that and just made it his own and kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best basketball minds I've ever seen is a guy I follow on Instagram named Per Sources. He's a really big Celtics fan, and he was saying that Rondo is probably like the most valuable player from that group. And then one thing he also followed up with was, I am going to take playoff Rondo over playoff Chris Paul. And I thought that was really, really interesting. I already see some thumbs up. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys taking playoff Rondo over playoff Chris Paul?
Yes. Playoff Rondo is fucking different.
Playoff Rondo
not
is
gonna
sick,
lie.
man.
If you put Chris Paul on that Celtics team, they wouldn't have won that championship.
Yeah.
Because Rondo, his mind just different, bro. Like he orchestrated that offense that whole year. And when he got to the finals, he knew what to do against like certain people. So he just made the proper adjustments and ran that offense real good. I don't think Chris Paul could have did it like that.
Rondo has his rings for a reason.
Yeah, facts. Do you guys know the story of Kevin Garnett and Rondo before they met?
No, I think I might have heard something.
I know they didn't like each other, right?
So when Kevin Garnett was trying to sign with the Celtics, he said a bunch of stuff, and then he's like, "I'm also going to sign on one condition. Y'all make sure to re-sign that African kid." And he's talking about Rondo.
Yeah.
I never heard that before.
He was telling Danny Ainge, he's like, make sure you re-sign the African kid. And he's talking about Rondo. So that just shows exactly what you're saying is like he was the heart and soul of that team. He was orchestrating everything. And Kevin Garnett, like we know how wired that guy is. So he even liked him from the moment.
I remember I was like, 8 or 9 years old watching playoff Rondo. And I don't know why. I was just so inspired by how he was playing. I literally got out at 9 p.m. at night and started hooping in my driveway. I want to play like Rondo. This is insane. It's funny. It's funny how I said I wanted to play like Rondo before I ever said I want to play like LeBron. Anyway, we'll keep
Man, they're going in on Braun right now.
Hey, listen, I am the biggest LeBron hater.
Listen, I need to warn every guest when they jump on here. Jameel has slander against the GOATs of basketball. He has slander against Jerry West, Bill Russell. And who was the other guy? Who was the other guy you hate on so much? There was one more person. I'm blanking out. But he shits on Bill Russell and Jerry West so much.
Sometimes Steve Nash.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
Yo, Steve is
disrespectful,
cold.
bro.
Steve is
Whoa.
cold.
Disrespectful.
Steve is different
So-
though.
Steve Nash, in my opinion, obviously top 5 point guard of all time. But the thing is, he did not deserve 2 MVPs, especially considering Kobe got 1.
I got
Okay.
him going. I got it
Like-
going.
Okay, the MVP is fair. That's fair.
MVP is
Yeah,
definitely
I
fair. Yeah,
agree.
Kobe was
I
not a
agree.
mission.
Mhm.
Record wasn't solid, but Kobe should have got it.
Kobe should have it, period.
Because the thing is, what Kobe made it to 6 championships. He won 5. And what's his name? Why did I forget his name? Steve Nash never made it to an NBA Finals. He always lost in the conference finals or before that. And I'm just like, you can't have that.
They were
many-
first seed that year. They were first seed that year as well.
Yeah.
That was a fun team to watch, though, that Suns team. They're fast paced.
So
Whoa, shit. Where'd it go, Jaden? Oh, okay. My bad.
speaking of that
Good.
Suns team, that 7 seconds or less offense, that's starting to rub off on, well, at least trying to rub off on the current Nets. But one phrase that's going around with the Nets is the 7 stops or less defense. Because of how bad their defense is, they're just never stopping anybody. What do you think the Nets need to really clamp up on for them to get a firm hold on the championship? Because they have everybody. Something's going wrong. Do you think it's the defense? And if so, what needs to be fixed?
For me, I've been thinking about this a lot. For me, somebody made it a point. I forgot what show, but the Nets, their offense is so great. Like, they really don't need to worry about defense. But what they worry about is all of them being healthy at the same time. So they can at least play together long enough. Because, like, the way they play offense, it's no set offense. Like, you can't, like, let's focus. Like, say they want to score in 7 seconds. You can't even focus on that because if Kevin got the ball, you want to double Kevin, he's going to pass to Kyrie. Then you try to double Kyrie, he's going to pass to James. You try to James, he just going to dribble out of it, throw it out to Blake because Blake dunking again. So it's just like,
Blake's back, man.
It's like their offense is so, like, it's really scary. Like, it's really scary to think, like, you can't prepare for them. Like, you really can't. So it's like, I think their only issue is that they need to focus on, like, staying healthy. Because if they healthy, they got a championship. Like, James Harden about to get his first one. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
I'm only waiting for my boys out west to, get Clay back. And then we can talk about something else. But
that's what I'm saying. Wait for the Golden State, though. Wait for the Golden State.
Hey, we were talking about this. I don't know who, or I know it was with me and Jamia, but I don't know who else was in the conversation. But we were saying that Golden State team, everyone's sleeping on them, man. Once they're healthy, like, that team is still going to be nice. Like, everyone's acting like they're just shit now. Like, once they get Clay, it's back to normal.
So I'm looking at
You guys forgot who's the best backcourt, man. Who's the best backcourt?
I'm looking at the roster right now. They have obviously Steph Curry and James Wiseman. James Wiseman, I think, is going to take a huge jump in his second year. I think that man is going to go off in his second year.
He tore his meniscus, though, right?
Yeah. So hopefully it gets, I don't know how long, those always take different amounts of time to recover. And then you got Clay on the team. But a big issue right now is Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre has something in his head, some delusion in his brain that makes him think, nah, I'm not giving up my starting role. Who are you, bro? You can't shoot more than a foot and a half away from the rim.
Man.
It's like, I don't know. What do you think Kelly Oubre needs to man up, or do you think they need to just get rid of him and get other players? Because that's genuinely a big issue if they want to win from here on out.
I'd get rid of him. I mean, he's like a player in 2K that comes off the bench and you can have a dunk on somebody here and there, but really gives you no value.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I think he in his own head because he's trying to prove like something to the world. Like, he's just not playing basketball. Like, he's just, I don't know. Yeah.
And when you think
much,
about
man.
it too
He's
much,
thinking too
when you
much.
think about it too much, it messes with your game.
Yeah.
He started off old for whatever, him and Andrew Wiggins.
It was in his head.
Shit.
It was in his head for sure.
Yeah.
So Dean, you called them the greatest backcourt. I'm not disagreeing. But what makes me, what that brings up in my head is how Steph Curry and Klay Thompson brought a new era of basketball, the Splash Brothers, right? And now you have players scoring crazier than ever before. And if you look at the course of NBA history, the amount of games where teams have scored like over 120 or like 130 points has skyrocketed. And it all was in line with when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson started going off. So my next question to you guys is defense in the NBA hitting a plateau while offense players are just getting more creative? Like, do you think that defense is hitting a plateau? Like defense can't really get better than it currently is? Or how do you think, what's your opinion on the current NBA defense?
So I don't feel like, in general, I don't think defense is necessarily getting worse. I just feel like players, as they develop in the league, they get better, they get like more confident in themselves. They just feel like like every NBA player, I don't think, if they had one-on-one competitions, like in the All-Star game, what they're talking about, I genuinely don't think they can guard each other because they're very skilled offensively. And if you're going up to 10 or whatever it is, it's like, you can't really, if you have Kyrie and Steph, they can't guard each other. Kyrie's going to sauce them, Steph's going to sauce them. It's like, it's just, as an offensive player, they're so skilled. I feel like it just, it's overconfidence after a time. Like you see the younger players like Trae Young, Luka Doncic, they're watching these guys and they're like, dude, I see them doing it, so I can go out and shoot this many times. I can go out, pull it from that side. I can go out doing like that. So I just feel like as an offense, I don't think defense necessarily is getting worse. Teams are adjusting. They're at halftime making plays, traps, certain different stuff like that. It's just, honestly, I feel like it's just the offense is getting better every year, more confidence in general.
Offense-oriented league, yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, it's the rules. Because, like, the Warriors did it. Like, Steph and Klay exploited the analytics of shooting more three-pointers, right? Like, or making more three-pointers. Because the Rockets and, like, D'Antoni's offenses always shot the most threes. So every team D'Antoni was the coach of, they team shot the most threes. But they just didn't make them. But the Warriors, like, they made their threes. So, like, the analytics show, like, the more threes you make, the better percentage chance, you win games. So it's like they exploited that. But I think the NBA created rules to where it's more of an offensive game. Yeah. Like you can compare the eras of like even the early 2000s, they were still able to hand check to where, they can still put two hands on you like one time. They couldn't hold you, but they, where you going, but like now you can't even do that. Like you can barely touch somebody. Cause like James Harden, he'll go in every time. He'll just go, scream. They, okay, foul. We heard you cry. Yeah. So I think the rules has caused the shift in like points. And like, I think that's what the NBA wants because they changed the rules. But I think they want that in terms, they think it get more ratings. So
small ball is the new game.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wanted to ask you about that James Harden move. So the NBA a while back made a rule against Kevin Durant, and I guess I'll demonstrate for you guys. So Kevin Durant, when he used to have the ball in the triple threat, right, he used to swing his arms around whenever the defender would put his hand forward, so that as soon as he swung his hands up, it'd be an automatic foul every time. And then the NBA made a rule against it. But what James Harden does now is when he's dribbling in the paint, now he's putting his shoulder down and waiting for the defender to get his arm in. And as soon as he gets the defender's arm in, he's going up and he's flailing, right? And as of right now, they don't have a rule against that. Do you think they need a rule against that? Or do you think they should just let players do whatever they want on offense?
I think you let that slide. I mean, it's technically, if it's in the rules of the game, you're using your IQ to the defender's advantage. If you're a defender and the guy's in the paint and you're not bodying it, if you can't stay in front of him, which nobody can stay in front of James Harden, then you lost. I mean, if he gets in the paint, if anybody gets within 2 feet of the basket, it's either going to be a bucket or a layup or a bucket or a foul. So I think keep the rule and stop limiting these players because they're so gifted offensively. You're just limiting their game. I mean, just because you've never seen it before doesn't mean that it's legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James is very good at drawing fouls, man. He's specific, like he's taking it to his advantage. And I mean, not a lot of players can draw 17. He literally gets warm from the free throw line. He'll shoot like 12 in the first half. And then after he hits all 12, he's like, yo, I'm warm now. I'm ready to go. Yeah. So it's like James is different in that aspect. He's very smart on how to draw the contact and when to flail and when to get it. And then you notice every time he gets fouled, he still gets the and one because he takes the bump, flails, and then he lays it in perfect. So it's like he's smart about it. So, I mean, you just got to look out for James, I guess, as a defensive team. You can't really make a rule just for that one guy, I feel like.
And the thing is, the rules apply to everybody. So
Yep.
if it was such a big exploit, why wouldn't everybody be doing
Everybody
it?
yeah.
It's because they can't. They're not as good as at doing it. So
They had one to nerf Shaq, the back to the basket rule.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Shaq's different, man. Shaq's a bully.
yeah. What about you, Maurice? What do you think about the NBA banning offensive moves?
I never liked the NBA taking away from a offensive arsenal like James Harden's arsenal. Like I don't like that. So I don't like the new rules they putting out there. Like I don't like that rule that KD can't go up like when somebody's thinking. I don't like that shit because they taking away from they bag. Like they studied that and they added it to their personal arsenal. Like they should be able to use it. I don't like that.
So let me ask you guys something that might start changing your answers then. There's a big thing in the NBA. Player pump fakes, or maybe he gets around a defender, pump fakes, leans forward, shoots it, gets a foul every single time.
I don't like that.
Classic
You guys think that needs to be nerfed?
Yes.
Yeah, I do in an aspect, but the way the players are landing their feet too, it's like if you don't give the dude room to land, that's a foul. Yeah. But if the player is purposely kicking his feet out and flailing and like trying to step on your own feet, types of stuff like that. James Harden does it a lot too.
See, the issue with us saying that is we're all contradicting what we had just said. You're taking away from like the rules of the game. If someone sticks their hand in on James Harden, he draws a foul, it's a foul. If someone comes flying at me after I pump fake and he bumps into me, that's a foul. So it's like
that's not really an arsenal though. That's like that's like if I pump fake and get somebody in the air and I just jump into them, I'm not even worried about scoring. Then I'm worried about getting fouled.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
The game, like the name of the game is scoring. You're not supposed to pump fake and then just purposely jump into somebody. I wouldn't call that foul if I was a ref. That's bullshit.
I mean, that's exactly what my answer would be.
Let him play.
My answer would be exactly that. Is if I'm a ref and I'm seeing that shit and I don't like that shit, simply just don't call the foul.
Because that's the only way as a defender, what do you do?
Exactly. That's the only way players are going to learn is if the refs are not calling these fouls. The refs keep calling these fouls. So these players are like, all right, that shit's sliding, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Right.
Exactly.
You know? The move that I hate this year the most is the Trae Young move. Dribbles around the screen, stops, sticks his butt out, gets the foul, just keeps shooting. Listen, there's a reason he's not an all-star. Okay? Like
whoa, don't
I like Trae though.
Crazy, man.
I like Trae, man. Trae's cold with it.
Hey, what did I tell you guys about the slander?
I'm not holding back, man. I don't like when players try to, like, I can understand studying and want to make a good move. When you're out here sticking your butt out, looking stupid, like, bro, I can't watch that. And he's all surprised he didn't make the all-star team. Oh, I'm going to get him next year. Everyone out to get me. Like, no one's out to get you. Start making your three-pointers. Lonzo Ball's making more three-pointers than you are. Like, get your game on, man.
You do have beef with these players.
You definitely do.
Hey. Y'all better hope LeBron and Trae Young don't watch this.
Oh my God. LeBron, Trae Young, if you guys are watching this,
I kind of wanted to go back.
That'd be awesome.
I kind of wanted to go back a little. And so you mentioned earlier that all of you guys played at Moraine. And I think the three of you, minus Nico, played together, right? So I kind of want each one of you guys to go back and talk about that experience playing at Moraine and then also playing at whatever college you went to. I know some of you went to St. Xavier, some of you went to BU, and some of you went to, was it North Park? Right? So if you can kind of talk about those experiences and what they were like, and playing together too, because that must have been fire.
That was great. I'll go first. Moraine was a great opportunity that, you know, God blessed me with, because I didn't play my last 3 years of high school because I got cut each year. I don't know why. The coach never told me what I needed to do better. They just, So, you know, it was an opportunity given to me by the girls coach at Homewood Flossmoor. So it was just so fun. Like, it came to a point where, like, we knew where each other was, like, at all times. Like, I can run up the floor And like, I'll be looking at the basket and I turn my head, I just see the ball flying. Like, you know, I'm not even set to shoot nothing. They just throw me the ball because they already know, well, you about to be open once you stop where you are. And just, you know, and then like I can find them anywhere. Like I can just know Reese about to make this cut. Dean, oh, he over here in that corner. It was so fun. And then, you know, off the court was as great. Like we was able to do things together that, you know, normally basketball teams don't do, because especially at a JUCO, because, you know, you're not staying on campus together. So, you know, it was a real great experience being there. And here at the school I'm at currently, and you know, it was a challenging 2 years, but I learned a lot about myself, my character, and learned about, you know, understanding the game better. So, you know, it was good in that aspect, but you know, basketball wise, kind of sucked. But
before we kind of move on to the other answers, you mentioned about the whole JUCO experience and how you're able to do things off the court with a bunch of your teammates, things like that. That's something that a lot of even NBA players talk about, is the reason why they were so successful and their team was so good is because they built that bond off the court. So I'm assuming you guys were like winning games while still kind of kicking it and just, you know, booling and doing what you guys do. So that obviously those two things connected. So that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I feel like in my aspect as well, like I feel like in Moraine, so my story was a little bit different as well. They had the season started probably through, I think it was a week in actually. And I found out that the tryouts were backed up earlier. And I was hurt, man. I was like, dude, I'm at Moraine this year. Like, if I can play, I know I want to play. So I literally went on the Moraine website. I looked through the coach's name. I found the basketball head coach. I saw his number and I called him. I literally dialed the phone and I called him. And I was like, dude, this guy's probably not going to answer to me, whatever it is. He picked up. He's like, hello? I'm like, hello. And I asked him if this was a coach. He's like, yeah, it is. Who is this? And I told him my name. He didn't know what I looked like, how tall I was, who I was, anything. I'm like, listen, coach, I know you guys had tryouts like last week, but trust me, man, I really want to play on this team. And if you can give me any type of tryout, any type of open gym, anything, like I promise I won't disappoint you. And this guy's probably like, this guy could be like 4 foot tall. All I know, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So he's like, nah, man, we got a full team, but I'll keep you in mind. And I was like, damn, like I missed my chance. It is what it is, man, but whatever. I'm at work a week later. He calls me. He's like, hey, man, listen, are you still interested? I'm like, hell yeah, let me know the day and time and I will be there. And it was big time. He told me there was a guy who left the team, I think it was, or somebody got injured. That's what it was. And I went there the first day. I seen the whole squad and I was like, man, like we started playing together. I was like, dude, these guys are cold. We had Nick, we had Reese, Lawrence, not even like Reese, like all these guys. We had a good team. We had a good like bunch of people who played. And honestly, man, practice was fun. We were the type of dudes who would just talk shit to each other all practice. We would go at each other. We'd have like the difference between like JUCO and like other stuff is like in JUCO, you have like drills where you do like 3-on-3. You have like shooting drills, or you go against black squad and white squad, and the white squad would have to run if they lose, and like we're just jawing at each other. That's what makes you like, that's what made me wake up every day and get excited to play. And I was like, man, I love this team. We had great times off the court, riding on the bus, everything like that. I would definitely say the difference between JUCO and I went to Benedictine after that is just, I mean, JUCO is definitely the players there. I feel like, honestly, there were some players that are a lot better than other D2, D1 schools. Even like in JUCO, there's always those guys who maybe got looked at in high school, or they didn't get the college of their choice, so they're just going to go closer to home, but they're absolute ballers, this and that. And at a university, it's a little different. Like, I think at JUCO, it wasn't really organized as much. Like, we'd be in a group chat, like, can you guys practice at this time, or practice off today? Let's do it later this time or in the morning. But at Benedictine, it was like, wake up at 4 a.m., drive all the way to Naperville, go do like sprints on the football field, do little workouts, summer workouts, practice 2 times a day. So they keep track of all your shots. There was specific stuff like that. So, in that aspect, it was definitely fun and more organized. But honestly, man, at Moraine with the squad we had, that was a blast to me. I feel like that genuinely made me that made me a better player. I think we all got more confidence in general just playing, and like we were not scared, man. We were going at each other all day. Like, that's why I love these guys, man. I still want to play with them. It was a fun time for sure.
And you're from the Orland area, so it's kind of playing for your home team. So playing for Moraine is kind of it's Bridgeview's like
time,
right
man,
there.
For sure.
Yeah.
How about you, Maurice? How was it for you?
Playing at Moraine was probably one of the best times I had in college. Cause like not only just like playing with the guys and forming that bond, it was just like the atmosphere. Like everybody surrounding us was nice. Like I made some bonds with the girls, some people on the girls team too. Not like that, bro. I don't know why you smiled like that. Not like that.
He said, I met some girls, bro. I said, okay, I see you.
No, man, we all.
But the girls team was cold. They were undefeated though. The girls team was cold. You can't.
I heard.
They were cool. And we got cool with all of them, but like that my second season, like playing with Dean and all of them, that shit was like, I just feel like it was more competitive, because like Dean said, we'll come to practice. Everybody, talk their shit, and then we'll lace up and we'll just get at it. And another thing with that was a challenging year because we really lacked a head coach.
Yeah.
We lacked a head coach. Like our assistant coach here, he'll play that head coach role from time to time, but we really lacked the head coach. And I think it's because at the time he was going through a lot of stuff. So he really wasn't there mentally as he wanted to be. But I think the best thing about that group is our adversity. Like we overcame all that shit, and we still went 20-10, and we only lost that many games because we was missing one of our best guys for like at least half of those games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
we went pretty far too, man.
Yeah,
pretty far. Like lost by in the semifinals or whatever it was. We could have went to regionals or something. We lost by free throws. Missed like 10 free throws, and we had one more game to win.
Hey, bro, what did I tell you? What did I tell you before we started recording this podcast? What did I tell you, Maurice, about that tournament? Free throws, man. Those free throws.
Oh my God! That game, free throws did us in, man.
Mm-hmm.
Free throws and turnovers. I ain't gonna lie. We played a team that, they had some guys that we wasn't really used to. I think I got into it that game too for some reason. I don't even know why.
Yeah.
But we played, Huh?
I said because you kept turning the ball over, you was mad at yourself, so you just had to take it out.
I think that is why, man. I was getting frustrated.
That's why I love the team, though, man. We all would, like, if somebody does something wrong, we would get on that dude, tell him what he did wrong, and then we would discuss it, and we know what we had to do, and we went out. Like, we just got to talk to each other, and we go out and perform.
That's that camaraderie you guys build off the court, too, and that's where it comes in, You can yell at your teammate and tell him, hey, you fucked up, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's go hoop, next play,
know?
Right.
And
literally.
The dude's a hooper if he could take it like that. If he can take it and he's like, yo, like, I see what you just told me now. You go out there and you do it. The guy is – he doesn't get down on himself. He has more confidence to go out and do what he's doing. Yeah. So that's how you can tell.
We had a lot of characters on that team, too.
We did, man.
We had a lot of funny people on that team.
We had Zion, Jazwan, Eli. Dude, we had some goofies on that team. Kwan. That was a fun squad.
Vontae, LP favorite person, Vontae.
Man.
How about you, Nico? How was your JUCO experience?
So even though I was a little bit before these guys came in, I could almost say like I had the exact same experience, even though it was with different guys. One thing that I want to add with JUCO ball is I feel that these players that are playing at JUCOs, and I believe it's 100% facts, is that they feel they're a little hungrier than players that would go to university straight out of high school because they feel they may have gotten overlooked. They may feel that the scouts that picked up a player, recruited a player that you're better than didn't pick you up. You may feel that, maybe your AAU program didn't give you the right exposure. So you're coming into a JUCO hungrier than a guy who gets a scholarship to a university right out of high school. So I had a little bit of that mindset myself. I did have a scholarship to St. Francis out of high school. And I actually signed with them and then I decommitted because the way that an NAIA works is you have like two scholarship packages, one for athletics and one for academics. And in high school, I was mainly basketball, so my academics were very average. So in order to qualify for an academic scholarship in NAIA, you have to have like a great GPA, and mine was definition of mediocre. So I realized after I signed with St. Francis, I'm like, I can do something better than this. Like I'm still paying for school a little bit. I think I could go further than NAIA and all this stuff. So I went to Moraine hungry as hell, and the team that we had when I got there, the starters were all sophomores, and I was the only freshman to be in a starting five. And I ended up being all conference my first year there.
Wow.
And we actually won regionals. So it was like a one and done year of success. I had nothing to complain about. So we had a great squad, just like these guys were talking about with the chemistry off the court and on the court, had the same type of thing. And that success obviously led to on the court success as well. So moral of the story is I think JUCO guys are hungrier than university guys because they have something to prove coming out of high school.
You ended up playing at St. Xavier, right?
Yeah. So
what was that like?
So I was saying I wanted to get better than St. Francis. I was able to boost my GPA to a 3.6 at Moraine, which qualified me for the full academic scholarship that I wasn't getting out of high school to go to St. Francis.
Right.
So I had the full scholarship for the academic and the athletic going to St. Xavier. So I ended up saving a ton of money by going to Moraine, paying however much it cost to go there, and then earning a much bigger scholarship package to go to St. Xavier. So even though they're even in the same conference and we played St. Francis and all that, I paid way less for school. And I believe that I had more fun at St. Xavier than I would have at St. Francis. So yeah, that's that. St. Xavier was awesome. Some of my best friends I still keep in touch with to this day. Our team had crazy talent, and unfortunately, none of us got along with the coach. I don't want to name drop him, but no one really liked him. He had a lot of favorites. He didn't like when players teamed up against him because no one liked him other than maybe one or two guys. So when he would sense that like a lot of guys weren't vibing with what he was telling us, he would just get mad and make us run. So it could have been a better basketball experience, but in terms of like the relationships I built there and stuff, it was great.
You know,
like sounds like Coach Carter's evil twin right here.
Bro, you guys got me inspired. I think I'm gonna walk on for Illinois next year, bro. This is...
Go for it.
Go crazy, man. You have that confidence.
Y'all better watch out for me at that next tournament, man. Okay, so we're getting into the final stretch of the podcast. So I want to hit you guys with a quick hitter question. Out of all four of you, which one is the toughest to guard and why?
That's tough.
I put you guys on the spot.
I ain't gonna lie. LP is hard to guard, especially when he get that shit going. LP is hard to guard. But me, I can adjust. Yeah. I could sit on that LP. Like I could lock that up. You know.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people can't say that. I could sit on that.
That's like PTSD. That's back in the old days. I used to talk mess in practice. I remember this quick story. This one practice, right? I hit like 7 shots in a row. They wasn't all threes. It's probably like 5 threes. And our assistant coach asked, he was like, "Who was guarding Lauren?" And I looked at coach and I was like, "Nobody." I was like, "It don't matter." I was like, "It don't matter who guarded me." Reese was like, "Hold on." He was like, "No." He was like, "Nick, watch out. I got LP.
Yep.
He's talking crazy right now. I got LP."
I loved it, man.
That was great.
That's the thing, man. I loved it. Every practice we were doing, like, I think that's the thing why I love that team. Because I mean, even Nick is not here, unfortunately, but that dude he's tough, man. He's got some solid handles. I think Reese as well, man. Reese is just calm with the ball, and then he'll hit you with another gear and go and like he'll just blow by you, or he'll hit you with something like a nice midi. And I feel like, I don't know, man, the way we were talking, like assistant coaches would even get on us. They'd be like, we have a guy he's jumping out the gym. His name's Eli. And like, he'd run a play where I get screened and I have to like guard him down low. And then he would like go for a hook shot and I would contest it hard enough for him to miss it. And coach would be like, "Yo, this guy is not even 6 foot tall. You're not going to score on him, Eli?" Like he'd be screaming. I'd be like, he doesn't have a choice. Like, he don't have a choice. We would go at each other in that sense. And I feel like that's what made it fun, man. That's what made us like literally go at it every day. I woke up, went to school, finished my classes, and I was like, man, let's go ball. Like we had a good ass chemistry. It was just fun. I think everybody on that team was tough. Everybody on the team was tough for sure.
Iron sharpens iron, man. For real.
I can't.
That's crazy that you said that because literally in this description I got a Maurice. I literally word for word, probably the most calm and collected dude I've ever seen on the court.
He is,
so
man.
Say when he's like, gear. Yeah, for real. When I seen him play, I was like, this dude is just like hooping, but he's just so like nonchalant about it. Like it's coming naturally.
Reese is the most person I played with ever.
What about you, Nico? What do you think? Who do you think?
I mean, I can give two different answers. Like for me personally, being a big man and like not being lightning quick, I'd probably say Maurice would be the hardest to guard because he's got the ball on a string. But if I was like a guard and I was guarding outside on the perimeter, I could see LP being tough to guard because like, I mean, like I never seen him play prior to the tournament. So like some of the shots he would be pulling, I'm like, can he hit that? And then I found out like he definitely has that in his game. So you can't really.
Look at where that nigga was pulling from. He did that step back. He was down there half court.
I have that too. We were down by 3 points, and this man, we were down by 4 points, and this man said, "Give him like a jab, step back from like the white line and pulled it." And I have such a clean footage of it, and it was dirty, man. It was dirty.
Yeah, when you have shooting ability like that, it just opens up your offense so much because obviously you're quick enough to go by somebody, but someone's always got to worry about you on the line. And if they come out too hard, you can go right by them. So it opens up so many, just like Steph. I mean, people say that Steph's like a great ball handler. I mean, he is, but in terms of like a package, it's not like he's breaking people down like Kyrie. It's because his shot is so much of a threat that it makes people literally have to stay on their toes and like not know what the guy's going to do. So,
Dean, you mentioned jab, step back, pull up. Nico, you mentioned Steph Curry, how hard he is to guard. Ibrahim, you know where I'm going with this. I'm asking guys one simple question: Steph or Dame?
Steph. That's not a question.
All right, next person.
Steph, easy money. Steph. I knew Lauren's about to take my guy. Steph for sure.
I got a feeling Maurice is going to choose the right answer. Just because I feel like I know how he's built.
Nah, Maurice.
We talking about all time, or we talking about now?
Just who are you taking?
Just in general, you taking?
Who am I taking?
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Michael Jordan. No.
It's valid,
I'm gonna take KD, Kevin Durant.
Yeah. What about between Steph and Dame? Who you taking? I guess.
Dame. I've always been a Dame fan though. Like I've always been.
Thank you.
All right, Nico,
I can't go against him.
Thank you. Tie it up, or you can pull it away. There's a right answer. There is a right answer, by the way. Like.
No, there is a right answer.
Right?
I'll wait till Nico gives his answer.
Because I could see a case being made for both people. Like Dame's pulling up from just as deep as Steph is. I guess what I'm having conflict with is Steph started the whole pull from that far back and stuff like that. So like he kind of trailblazed the way of doing that type of game. But at the same time, in terms of like I'm down by like a certain amount of points and I need to win a ball game. For some reason, I think that Dame has the heart to win the game for me.
Thank you.
Oh, no, okay, hold on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Steph Curry's always winning anyway. He's never in that position.
No. Listen, first of all,
the whole fourth.
Hey, this is the way I look at it. Steph Curry's the right answer, and here's why. Other than Damian Lillard having a slight edge in clutchness. Steph Curry's a better shooter, passer, dribbler, playmaker. And they're arguably both the same on defense. Neither of them are pretty good anyway. I think Steph is literally better at everything else, and he's pretty close with clutchness. I don't know. I always say Steph, and I don't even think it's close.
See, you're completely right, but my answer was obviously I'm choosing Dame. My answer was only because of one thing and one thing only. I just like Dame more. I just like his attitude. I just like his attitude. I like the fact that he's just like, yo, forget everyone else in the league. I don't need 3 other superstars to win.
Yeah, I can relate to Dame because you know how y'all say I'm like cool and calm with the ball. That's how Dame is, and I just like that about him. Okay, I just like that about him.
So what we're gonna end this off with is we're gonna do a draft of the greatest players of all time. So the order, it's going to be a snake draft. So the order is going to go like this. 1 second. Let me get this. Okay. So the order is going to be Nick, Lawrence, Maurice, Dean, me, and then Ibrahim. And then because it's a snake draft, it'll be Ibrahim and then back down.
Say that
goes first, you mean?
Yeah. So it's, okay. I have it on the doc if you guys want to look at the order. Yeah. Sorry, I meant Nico. What did it?
Yeah, I fixed it. I just seen it right now. I fixed it.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, that's gonna be the order in a snake draft. Nico, you got first pick, best players of all time. And once it's picked, you can't pick it again.
Lawrence about to squap mine. Can Lawrence before me?
All right, I'm taking MJ.
Oh, you motherfucking Nico.
I'm about to first 2 picks. I got Steph.
Oh wow,
hey.
that's bogus.
All
Okay.
right, Maurice, you're next.
I got KD.
Y'all know who I'm rocking with. Kobe. Rest in peace. GOAT.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy G buckets. Who you got?
Whoa.
Man, you know, I hate on him a lot, but he leads to winning. LeBron.
Oh, that's
you
tough.
need that.
I did
You
not
need
see
that.
that one.
Like, I'm sorry, man.
All right, I'm going with Kareem and Hakeem.
Damn.
I'm going two bigs.
That ain't even fair. How you get both? Okay.
How you get right? Dang, took every big.
Kareem and Hakeem.
Give me that shit, boy.
Hey, I don't get, man.
Damn.
I think he missed a big, so I'm gonna take him instead. I'm taking Shaq.
Damn.
Oh, wow, that hurts.
I fucking hate y'all, bro.
Yo, I can't get a big now. I can't grab a big now, man.
All right.
That was gonna be
man.
Hakeem if somebody took Shaq. God damn.
And I know they're gonna take my point guard too. Fudge. Give me AI. I'm gonna get AI.
Okay.
That's tough.
That's a
I
good
gotta
got
give
you.
me a big. Fuck. Give me Will. Fuck it.
Okay.
Built the still.
Hakeem too, man. Oh, that's tough.
Give me Tim Duncan.
Ooh, I like
Give me
that.
D.
I
All
like
right,
that.
Nico, you get 2.
All right. I'm going to go with, for my big, all of the good ones are taken.
Right?
You can pick you, Nico.
I'm gonna go with Patrick Ewing,
Okay.
Love that.
and then I'm gonna go point guard. I'm gonna grab Magic Johnson.
Ooh.
Solid.
Ooh. Hey,
Yeah.
your team kind of tough. Hold on.
All right,
That's
Lawrence, what you
nice.
got?
How we matching it? I gotta see, look, I need a board in front of me.
Yeah.
Give me Steph. Give me Kawhi. Give me Kawhi.
Okay.
Ooh.
Locked down.
Who I got? I only got KD, right?
You only got
KD and
KD and
Will.
Will.
KD and Will. Fuck, man, my team mediocre like a bitch.
Man, I need a big now. I don't got big.
Give me D Rose.
Ah, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
you talking prime D Rose? You talking
Prime
We're not
D-Rose.
talking. Yeah, we're not talking injuries with this draft.
Youngest MVP. Give me that
Yeah,
D
we're not
Rose.
talking injuries.
Dang, I might have to
And
put up
I need a big, bro. I need a big.
Okay.
Don Bradley. No, I'm kidding.
Give me
Look at
man, they took Hakeem, they took Shaq, they took Will even. All right, give me
Manute Bol.
give me
Dikembe.
Taco Fall. No. Give me Karl Malone. Give me Karl Malone. I'll take Karl Malone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I
I
had
was gonna
to.
take
I
him.
had
That's
to.
nice.
Man, you got Hakeem
That's nice.
and what you got? How are you taking Carl?
I got
You got a
LeBron
bunch of
and
bigs.
Shaq.
Yeah, he took both of them, man. That's fucked up.
Yeah, man, he took both of them too. He wants it Carl too.
This dude's about to have a
I
starting
was-
lineup averaging of 7 feet tall.
Right?
Who you got,
Okay,
Jermaine?
I need a good distributor. I'm taking John Stockton.
I knew you were gonna pick him up. Gosh darn. All
Okay.
right, I'm gonna go. I'm going GP
Gary Payton.
Payton.
Yeah,
and Larry
Gary
Bird.
B.
Damn.
I'm taking Larry Bird.
That was gonna be
Tom.
mine.
Dang it. That was my pick.
That was Nico's pick.
Yep.
Man.
That's
Okay.
his Kareem, Hakeem,
Pick from the
Gary
French
Payton.
lick.
Well, now I need a scorer since you took Larry Bird. You know what? Cold-blooded scorer, my opinion, top 5 scorer of all time, James Harden.
Okay.
I thought you was gonna say Melo.
So did I.
That would have been good. I should have taken that.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I just gave somebody an idea.
All right,
Hey,
D.
I'm not I'll tell you, I'm not taking Melo. Y'all could have Melo. Y'all could have Melo. Man, I need like a big but a scorer too. Give me Dirk Nowitzki.
You
that's a good pick.
That's my favorite
Just
player
gonna say
ever.
Dirk.
Take my power forward, man.
That's my
a good
favorite
pick.
player ever, man. Dirk Nowitzki. I grew up watching.
Really? I respect
Yeah.
that. I respect that.
I need a shooting guard and a power. Give me D Wade.
Okay.
Ooh,
Good pick.
Okay.
D Wade.
Got 2
I
Chicago.
slept
kids.
on that one. I slept on
Yeah.
that one.
Give me Tracy McGrady.
E-Mag.
Oh,
Man.
I think he's
Wow.
underrated as well.
Yo, T-Mag was a problem, dude. Kobe said he was one of the hardest people he ever had to guard.
Okay, he ever had to go, yeah.
All right, Nico, you get your last 2 picks.
All right, perfect. So since I got MJ for small forward, I'm gonna go Scottie Pippen.
Dang it!
And then my power forward, I'm taking Kevin Garnett.
You literally took my 2 players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, your team is like kind of hard to score on.
Yeah.
Man, your team is too hard to score on. I'm looking at this right now. That's tough.
Your team is hard to score on. But I got
Lawrence, you got one more pick.
Fine. Dang. I don't want to take him. Who can I get? I need a big. I need a center. Who's a solid center?
Lonzo Mourning, Perkins.
Well, give me the man who won it all. Give me Bill Russell.
Man.
Give me Bill Russell to complete it. That's a championship mentality that he got all locked in.
That man's being inducted as in the Hall of Fame again as a coach. So he'll be in the Hall of Fame twice.
Oh yeah, so
crazy.
All right, so I got some scores on my team, some closers.
It's actually Maurice for his.
I was gonna say, you just skip me, bro.
Oh, it is. My bad. Okay.
You took my power point. Now you trying to skip my turn.
Hey, I know he's about to go out mine right now.
Power forward. Goddamn, power forward. I don't even know who I could pick. Power forward. Somebody said Karl Malone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Let me see.
Power forward. Holy shit, this is hard.
You got the worm. You got the
Ooh,
Admiral.
there's one big guy you guys are missing
Y'all
out
tweaked.
on.
I know. I got him ready. You got him already? I know you're gonna say. Let me get next. I'll take him next.
Give me. I don't know, bro. Y'all might got to come back to me. It's gonna be a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dean.
All right.
I'm taking Giannis. You guys tweaked on Giannis.
Oh,
wow.
Not what I was thinking. Okay.
You weren't thinking Giannis?
No,
that's nice.
Reese,
That's a good pick.
Reese, I would take Scottie Pippen possibly. Your team's cold with Scottie Pippen, maybe.
No, not for a power forward, bro.
For power? Yeah, small forward. Maybe.
Who you guys
I'm
made?
a big motherfucker.
Maurice, you got a pick or do you want me to go?
Go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Okay. So I'm stuck between 2 players. And you know what? I'm going to spice it up and I'm going to say who I'm thinking about out loud. I'm either thinking Dennis Rodman or Charles Barkley.
That's what I was. Those are the 2 that I had in my board.
I don't know if I want. No, Dennis Rodman's too small.
I'm just going to go defense. I'm taking Dennis Rodman. I need more rebounds on my team too. I'm taking Rodman.
Worm.
That's a tough team. LeBron, Shaq, Stockton, Harden, and Rodman. That's tough.
Yeah.
Gee.
Not enough shooters.
Yeah, true.
I'm proud of your team.
Harden's about to be pulling that.
Maurice, you want to go? You want to go or you want to go last?
I still can't think, bro.
All right. I'm going to go with Clyde the Glide, my last pick.
Clyde Dracula. Okay.
That's the worst pick I've heard all day.
Yeah. I didn't think anybody was going to say it.
It was either him or Iceman. So
Gordon
you could have took
Hayward.
Brad Beal. Take Brad Beal for both of them.
Hey.
over Clyde? Nah.
Thompson.
Yes.
Oh, Clay would have been nice. I need shooting. I got, yeah. You got last pick, bro.
Who do?
You.
I'll give you a hint. Think current. Your current gen. You're missing.
I am. I wanna say one name.
I mean, you can say it out loud. You're dead last.
Yeah, I know. I wanna say LaMarcus Aldridge just because, like, in the post, he a fucking dog.
My guy.
Did somebody take Anthony Davis yet or no?
Wow, they didn't. Wow.
Oh yeah, let me get Anthony Davis.
Yeah, there we go.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Nah, I'd still rather a Giannis.
How did I forget about Anthony Davis?
Last pick.
Let's
We
make
kind
a
of tweaked
trade.
a little bit.
Reese, let's
Trade.
trade.
Huh?
I give you Bill Russell, you give me AD.
I don't want Bill Russell. I don't even like that.
Hey,
He got
Lawrence,
11
who you want for
championships, but
Steph?
look who he was playing against. I would have had 15 of them.
Thank you.
Hey, Lawrence,
you.
who you want?
Yeah,
Who you want for
15
Steph, man?
Huh?
Who you want for Steph?
I'm good.
If I get Kobe and Steph, it's GG's, man.
Damn.
My team is probably like the underdogs, like we was. They still come out on top, but they the underdogs.
So just to read out the team, just to read out the team for everyone listening. We got Nico with MJ, Ewing, Magic, Scotty, and Garnett.
That's
Lawrence,
tough.
Steph, Tim Duncan, Kawhi, T-Mac, and Bill Russell. Jesus. We got Maurice. We got with KD, Wilt, D Rose, D Wade, and Anthony Davis. 3 Chicago players on there.
3 Chicago players,
Yeah.
And we got Dean with Kobe, AI, Malone, Dirk, Giannis.
Yo, that team is fun. I'm gonna be fun to watch. I don't care.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
My team, we got LeBron, Shaq, Stockton, James Harden, and Dennis Rodman. Man, that team's gonna beat the shit out of anybody. Jesus.
No, you tweaking.
No, I mean,
hey, whoever got Clyde Drexler, that team is coming in dead last.
Hell, I got the all-time leading score, bro. It don't matter. I got the all-time leading score. It don't matter.
Ibrahim got Kareem,
You're
Hakeem, right. Gary Payton, Larry Bird, Clyde Drexler. All right, so Ibrahim's last.
Clyde Drexler's a little sus. I can agree.
Can we like put this in like a 2K simulation? Just figure this out like ASAP. Like put him in a 2K simulation. See who got the dub.
That'd be crazy.
Okay, well, that was pretty much all we had left for the podcast today. Did you guys have anything you wanted to say? Anything you wanted to plug? You can plug anything you want. Anything you want the people to know.
Label us champs. That's all I want to say.
Yes, sir. Undefeated champs.
Undefeated champs. My MVP trophy. You know, I'm missing a trophy.
Bro. They fucked you on that one. 2 trophies you should have had.
2 of them.
2 trophies, but I just need that back, and I'm ready for the next tournament. So
yeah, bro.
Right. Yes, sir. We ready, man.
Fair
but
enough.
Shout out the rest of the team. Shout out Nick Holmes, defensive player of the tournament.
Facts.
Shout out Abe and shout out Murad.
Yes, sir.
I got a quick question before we end it off. Was there any team that when you guys played, you were like, oh shit, they might beat us? Like, honestly, was there one team where you guys were like, this team might actually beat us?
Man, I will answer that. I'm not gonna lie. Before we started the tournament, before we knew any team, I texted them in the group chat and I said, guys, listen, if we show up and we play, they can all contest this. If we show up and we do what we have to do, there's not one team there that'll beat us. Like, we had that confidence of if we got to go out there and we're not going to lose. You saw a couple of times in the game, like we were down by like 7, 8. Sometimes there was a lead that was like, we're down by 10. And the other teams are, clapping, slapping the floor, going crazy. And we're just calm the entire time. Like, guys, there's 5 minutes left on the clock. That's too much time. Let's go out and play. Like, I feel like we had the confidence the whole time, to be honest. I don't really think we were scared of any other team.
All right. Fair enough. You guys heard it from the undefeated squad themselves. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Climate Podcast. Good night.